Welcome back to another Wondercat channel video. Today we're going to be covering a newish list, but fret not because it's still insanely cheap, something I like to call Rockin Rowdy Heroes. When I first started building this deck, I was looking at trying to build a rookie rush deck similar to that of the standard Shoemon list that I had covered previously. That video will be linked in the description below. I was playing around with a few ideas for an aggro list until I came across a card that I just thought was funny enough that we had to play around it. So unlike the previous list, we're going to be starting off this deck tech with our playmaking card of the deck, Rowdy Rocker. I love how cool this card is, and the funny thing is it doesn't really feel like a red card. 2-cost option, throw a level 4 or lower red Digimon under one of your Digimon. If you do, draw 2 cards. This is what we're going to be looking to do to filter through our deck faster, to buff up our little guys with Inheriteds and just threaten your opponent's security as fast as possible. We will of course be playing the 4 copies of Rowdy Rocker because the vast majority of this deck can be used by its effect, and it's just a generally good card. But anyway, onto our rookies. Now you can probably guess as to the nickname of the deck and the title, and you know, that we're going to be playing some hero cards. These are all valid targets for Rowdy Rocker, which makes it almost a perfect level 3 shell. Starting off with one lonely copy of Gamamon. This little dude is adorable, but he's arguably the worst hero in the level 3 slot that we play. His regular effect just isn't relevant to the deck. His inherited giving plus 2k during our turn is, however, since this is a rush deck, we are playing aggressive, we're going to make room for the 1. Next, 4 copies of Vmon, also a BT21 Hero Boy, a cute little blue-red card. When using him to digivolve into a hero, reduce the cost by 1. This isn't always going to come up, but we can trigger this, so it's a nice little saving on memory. Its inherited is the same as Gamma, plus 2k during your turn, nothing to write home about. Our next little hero is going to be 4 copies of Gumdramon. On play, by trashing a card with Save or the Hero trait, draw 2. One of the awesome reasons we play so many of these little guys is being able to filter through them en masse to generate extra hand advantage whilst building up a board. As usual, plus 2k inherited during your turn. Our better version of Gumdramon, however, a full playset of Guilmon. On play, trash a card with Guilmon, Groundmon, Megidramon, Gallantmon in name, or with the hero trait. If you do, draw 2. So this is just an upgrade to Gumdramon because we actually play a small Guilmon line to help with the consistency of the deck so that we can pitch things we don't need at the time. Inherited being on deletion, gain a memory. This is a really solid effect in a deck where we actually expect a lot of our level 3 and 4 stuff to die. So recycling that memory investment so we can continue going wide is a massive bonus. Last of our rookies, 2 more copies of the EX4 Guilmon, also known as Rush Gil. This card has to be an auto-include because it benefits off too many things in this list. For starters, it's red. It can be Rowdy Rocketed early to draw extra cards. It's a Guilmon, so it can be pitched early by the BT21 Guilmon to draw extra cards. The deck naturally filters and fills up the grave, which means its rush ability should be live when you need it. And with the extra memory gain we have in this deck that we can pick up during combat, it's an easy way to keep this in hand for that surprise swing for game. The card is good in standard play. It's good in this deck too. We only play the 2, however, because it doesn't have inherited, so its Rowdy Rocker value is slightly lowered, and the other hero cards do not sync with it. Our level 4s, however, are a little all over the place, but they're going to fulfill their niche really well. We're going to be playing 4 copies of BT21 Groundmon. This card works perfectly for the deck, fits for almost the exact same reasons as the EX4 Gil. It has the potential to blow up a small blocker or threat, and if not, mills cards to fill up our grave for Rush Gil. That's pretty good. It has the on deletion inherited, gain a memory. This isn't as relevant since we aren't going into level 5s too often in the deck, but guess what? It's a level 4 red Digimon, and if you didn't remember, Rowdy Rocker can hit level 3s and level 4s. We can throw it under a level 3 or level 4 that we already have on board, draw extra cards, just get back half that investment on it dying. Card is good, love the Groundmon, embrace the Groundmon. We're also playing 3 copies of BT21 Agunimon. This card was an interesting case. It's another hero target and actually recycles our level 3 heroes, turning him from a 5k to a potential 7k during your turn. Assuming you have a Vmon under him, it's a 1-cost 9k threat on board, which is a pretty solid investment for this list. He can also be pitched with both Guilmon and Gumdramon, but you probably don't want to discard this unless your hand is super heavy on level 4 stuff. This particular section of the deck can obviously be played Flamedramon because of his armor purge ability. Also works incredibly well with said Vmon. But I liked the idea of Agunimon being able to recycle those materials, those level 3s and whatnot, to just make him that little bit bigger. He can also Tamer, Digivolve, so that's also pretty good. Next, descending down to our 2 copies. Demetramon, a cute little dino gal. 4k body, which is on the lower side, but on play, if we control, or digivolving, sorry, I should say, if we control one or fewer tamers, play an Owen Dreadnought for free. This is an ideal turn 1, turn 2 play, depending on your opening hand, but considering we are probably going to end up with a couple of tamers on board, and she is on the weaker side, I didn't want to run too many of them. Its inherited, however, is an arguably better version of Groundmons. Whenever an opponent's security stack is removed from when attacking, gain a memory. Another solid level 4 to Rowdy under something if you don't have an Owen to play, or if you're just looking for a stronger level 4 to digivolve into. Our last level 4, however, a single copy of ST1 Greymon. This card is simply a vanilla level 4 that we always want to Rowdy for an extra security check. It's a little underwhelming outside of that. We don't want to play too many of these. If you aren't a fan of this card or can't find a copy, throw another copy of the Dimetramon into the list. Our level 5s, this one's going to be short and sweet, just 4 copies of BT21 Wargrowl on play and when digivolving. Trash 2, then give it raid and retaliation until the end of your opponent's turn. It's another pitch target for Guilmon early, helps bridge the gap into our level 6s. It's inherited on deletion, trash a security card. Hella hype, we love this to bits. If only this was on a level 4 card, I would... Oh my god, that ability. Our only level 6s, we're going to be playing 3 copies of BT21 Wargrey. This card is so big. Like, it is insanely strong for its rarity. I suspect it's going to be a pretty good contender for top-end boss sponsors in this format moving forward. Rush, Raid, and Blocker, being able to refresh itself once per turn whenever an opponent's Digimon is deleted. It's crazy both on offense and on defense. This is both turns as well. You can swing with Raid into something, destroy it, untap, leave it up to block with, and then also block during your opponent's turn just to restand it again. This card, wow! Its only weakness is that it has a subpar 11k stat line, which is on the lower end of regulation level 6s. We usually want to hit that 12k, 13k. But with access to multiple level 3 plus 2k inheriteds during your turn, Wargrey's going to be able to clear whatever board your opponent is building, or at least mangle it. So if they manage to make a 13k, you can always, and they don't want to attack, you can always have that level 3 put under it, or you can Rowdy Rocker something underneath it if you need to. Get it up to 13k, raid into their big thing. Or if it's tapped, then you can still just for free swing into it. So, you know, we've got ways around him sitting at that 11k. If they can swing into him during their turn and he's at the 11, then, you know, oh well, I guess. But still, overall, an incredibly strong card for our top end. Option time. We're going to be playing 1 copy of EX2 High Speed Plugin D. This card allows you to swing safely without the fear of your Digimon dying to security checks, giving said Digimon jamming. A 2-cost blue option that will ignore color requirements as long as you have a tamer on board, which should usually be the case, unless you draw this in your opening hand. On top of this, High Speed also allows your Digimon to swing unchecked, stopping it from being blocked for the turn too. This is a pretty cool card. Running through a couple more one-offs, we've got 1 copy of Megiddo Flame from EX3, a really cool card that can work well with your board as long as you have an Owen live or you start your turn with 3 memory. A 4-cost purple option, delete a level 4 or lower Digimon, or by deleting a Digimon you control, delete a level 6 Digimon instead. This can be a pretty interesting card to play after swinging with a level 4, getting that security check out of the way, then blowing up their big boss monster, generating a memory or 2 through your inheritance to keep your turn. I like the idea of running this card in constructed list, standard decks, but even with the new Megiddo stuff, it's still not relevant. That being said, it's perfect for regulation since we aren't playing anything bigger than level 6s, so we don't actually miss out on that, oh, but what if we have a level 7 on board, this card's useless kind of mentality. We don't have to worry about level 7s in this format. It's perfect. Card is good as a one-off. If it's hit in security, we can play Guilmon from the trash, which allows us to replay Hero Gil for more card draw. Seems pretty good. We're also going to be playing 1 copy of Demonic Disaster, a similar sort of reasoning as Megiddo Flame. Sack a Digimon you control, unsuspend another. If we have the security inherited Greymon under something, this gives us a solid unsuspend target if we want to swing multiple times with it. We have other ways of triggering multiple security checks per turn with a single Digimon, so I think it is worth running the one-off. This card, if hit in security, will also allow us to play any level 3 purple Digimon from trash, which, if you weren't counting earlier, 15 potential sources, we've got options. Next, one copy of Pummel Whack. This is just a little more potential removal and can be used in a pinch if they have a problematic level 4 or lower Digimon on board. On top of that, it does pull double duty with something else, which we will touch on soon. Not much to say though. 4 copies of Flame Memory Boost, our main source of memory gain outside our inheritance, and on play gives a Digimon we control Sec 1 for the turn. So this is definitely something we would rather play with a level 4 or higher on board, but if we need to use it early, just, if we don't have much else to do, we just want to play this turn 1, turn 2, it's whatever, it gives us extra memory. Being able to play this with a high-speed plug-in, or even better, with a Greymon underneath, is a potential 2 to 3 checks that can't be blocked and won't be destroyed during jamming. That's pretty funny stuff. Of course, our 4 copies of Rowdy Rocker as well. We've already touched on this card at the start of the video. Might as well give it the honourable mention while discussing our option cards. Love Rowdy Rocker. On to the Tamers. We have mentioned him a few times already. We're going to be playing 4 copies of BT21 Owen. This card is the perfect card for our deck, a red memory setter that we can play for free on occasion and has removal stapled onto it. It will also combo with our egg, which can lead to some pretty funny shenanigans. It's great that we have access to this card because the potential red Tamers that we can play in the regulation format is very slim and niche outside of Owen. I don't think we could really ask for a better generic red tamer for this deck specifically, so I'm not going to complain. Owen's a good card. Last card of the deck though, 2 copies of BT18 Violet in Boots. 2 more potential memory setters, because making sure we have 3 memory is so important in this deck, especially, we're playing so many level 3s that we want to play and get that on-play value out of. Its ability to also filter through the deck by pitching an option to draw an additional card is also nothing to scoff at, especially when we might have a heavy hand of Flame Memory Boosts. We play the 4, if we see too many, This card also has a nice interaction with Pummel Whack. If Pummel Whacks this card from your hand, you get to draw 1, essentially turning Violet's effect to a pure +1 in hand advantage, which is pretty cool. That being said, out of all cards in this list, Pummel Whack is probably our 1 flex card, so feel free to swap that out for anything else you prefer. It isn't super necessary for the list, I just think it's a cool inclusion. Lastly, and most importantly, our little egg boys. No surprise for anyone that knows BT21, we're going to be playing 4 copies of the Koromon. A hero card, so every level 3 outside the 2 Rush skill can Digivolve off it. It's inherited, drawing us a card whenever we suspend a red or yellow tamer, gives us even more gas, since we can suspend Owens without valid targets for that additional draw. All in all, I find these kinds of decks incredibly fun, and for those that love Agumon, I can share an Agumon-inspired list that plays similarly. Just need to know there's enough interest there. I decided to create this video instead of the Agumon list I was originally testing and whatnot, to celebrate BT21 and to show how versatile the hero archetype is at the rookie level. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback, if you've played with the list, how it feels for you, if it was aggressive enough for you. Always fun to hear back from you guys. But that's it for now. The deckers list is going to be up on the screen for you guys to look at. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share it, we'd love to hit that 100 sub milestone soon. It's pretty cool. As always, until next time, this is the Wondercat channel signing off. Ta-ta.